hello. Welcome to the Spotlight. I am your host, Asir, and this is Biggs 5.0.
Hey.
Hey, how was your weekend?
Wonderful.
He always say wonderful. Biggs
All right. New word. Stupendous.
Oh.
That's it.
He has this thing where he looks at the word of the day.
That's it.
That's your word of the day?
That's my word of the day, stupendous.
All right, so that's your word of the day also, stupendous. So that's what we're going to use today for everything. We're going to say stupendous. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about on this show. So much has happened during the week. Mother's Day was great. Did you enjoy?
It was very good for me as well too. Not a mother,
but
for my children's mother, it was very good. And I called my mother, and that was pretty good. And that's how it went.
Yeah, it was stupendous for me too. I got a chance to spend time with my mom. I have two moms. My mother, which is my biological mother, and then my adoptive mother, which is my aunt. So I had a chance to get to enjoy everyone. I haven't seen my adoptive mother in a couple of years, but I will see you soon. I know you're watching. I love you dearly. Mwah. Anyway, we have a lot to cover on this show today. We have a very special guest in here with us. We are going to be talking about bullying today. Among some other celebrity stuff that has been going on in the news. And we have a very special guest announcement for our show next week. Stay tuned to Love you for that. Anyway, we are sitting here with our guest looking like Andre 3000.
Okay.
Let's see your cape. You got to stand up. Oh, wait a minute. I wish you can step back here so they can see your whole everything. Everything.
Yeah.
How about you, let's see what it say. 3, 2, 1, stop bullying.
Speak life, show love.
Speak life and show love.
Most
That's
definitely.
what his cape said. Go ahead, superhero. We're going to stop this bullying thing, huh?
Most definitely, by any means necessary.
Biggs, did you get bullied when you was a kid?
No, I was the bully. I'm just saying.
He lying, y'all. He lying. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I wasn't really bullied. No, I actually skipped.
You didn't
over
have
it.
a bully? You didn't? Well, look, I have a story for y'all. You know that's what this show is about. We have to speak our uncensored, unbiased truths. And that's what my platform is about. So, let me tell you the situation. Can we close the door? Thank you. So look, let me tell you something. I don't know where era you come from, but I'm going to tell you, I came from the era where you got your butt whooped if you let a bully whoop your butt. I had this one bully. Shout out to everybody in Bad News VA. I love you to death. Bad News down the bottom is what we called it when we lived in the projects. So, I had this bully. Last name was Deloach. That's all I'm going to say. You did not mess with the Deloaches. If you thought that the Wayans had a lot of family members, if you fought one of the Deloaches, you had to fight. It would be a line of them around the corner. You better not fight and win. So one day, I don't know why she picked me, y'all. I just have no idea. So one day, I'm on the bus and she said, I'm going to kick your ass. And I said, I'm looking like, what did I do? So I got off the bus, looking behind me like, you do not want to fight the Deloaches. So I go in the house and everything. Next thing I know, when you're in a project, the words kind of travel real quick. So a whole bunch of people were standing on my porch. And my mama said to me, now look here, I know you didn't come in this house thinking you was going to run away from somebody wanting to fight you. And I looked at her like, yes, I am. and she said to me, are you more scared of her or more scared of me? And I had to sit there and get one of these numbers. Because guess what? I was really scared of my mother. So what happened was she said, you're going to get your ass back out there and you're going to fight. And if you hit the ground, I'm going to beat you after she has beat you. So for every time you hit the ground, you get a beat. Look, let me tell you something. I bet you I didn't hit the ground. I bet you I didn't hit the ground. So, but that was then. You fought with your hands. You got it over with. Few days later, you're the best of friends.
Exactly.
And now it's not like that anymore.
I got those on, though. Go for it. There it is. Hello. Go for
anyway. All right. I'm trying not to be the bully today. He already says I'm bossy, but not on bullying day. I'm trying not to be the bully today. So, anyway, we are sitting here with our guest, Mr. Osborne Dennis, and he has a foundation called 321 Stop Bullying. And we're going to talk about bullying today. And like I was saying, it's not the same today as it was back then. You know, back then you fought with your hands, you got over it, and then you become the best of friends later on. You see the kids playing. Tell us about the motto, 321 Stop Bullying.
Okay. Well, 321 stands for awareness, accountability, and action. What we do is, our motto is to speak life and show love, and just bring bully awareness to all races, and just try to be a blessing to as many people as possible.
Was someone in your family bullied? Give us the background
No.
to make, because most organizations, especially nonprofits, are started out of something within that has been an experience.
You know, growing up, even though I grew up in a nice household, 2 parents, hard working, in the suburbs, I still was a victim of bullying. That goes to show that no one is exempt from bullying. Mostly emotional bullying. If you wanted to fit in, then you had to do certain things. And I made that decision trying to fit in, so I denied who I was, my character. And I started, even though I grew up in the church, baptized at the age of 10, I started smoking marijuana, started drinking, skipping school. Even had won a scholarship to Atlanta Christian College on the Georgia Bible Bowl League 2 weeks before graduation. 2 weeks before graduation, trying to fit in, to be someone who I wasn't, just to be a part of that crowd. I quit school, and that made my life go into a spiral, downward spiral.
Was it more peer pressure, or was
Exactly.
that bullying?
It was bullying as well. You know, strong peer pressure is a form of bullying, emotional bullying. Yes. So that caused me to, well, it didn't cause me. I made the decision to quit school. Started living a life of crime. July 2004, I was arrested by the GBI. Ended up doing 6 years and 4 months in the system, federal system. And there, one day, before count time, Oprah Winfrey had came on, and I remember this. I was in the federal holding, and Oprah Winfrey had came on, and she said the number about the kids that was committing suicide due to bullying. And here it was that I done made the decision, not standing up to who God had called me to be, and made the wrong decision, and I had went to prison, left 2 kids out. So I knew I had to do something, and I went into my cell that day, and I started writing my first book. And I wrote it in 13 days.
What's the name of that book?
Christopher versus the Bully, and I also wrote a sequel, Christopher Visit to Heaven. Both are published and available online at 321 Stop Bullying and Amazon.
So you write your book,
Yes.
and
I didn't stop there. When I came home, I still saw that it was a greater need. So many kids deny who they are, water down who they are just to fit in. Seeing gang activity on the rise, even in my family, kids dropping out of school. So I still knew I had to do something. So I looked in the mirror. Instead of looking for someone else, I didn't look for Black Lives Matter, NAACP, didn't even look to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I looked at myself. I looked at the person in the mirror. So that's why I dress this way. That's why I stand on the battlefield, 321 Stop Bullying. I hold myself accountable.
right, for did you tell anyone that you were being bullied?
You know what? I don't think so. I believe I kept it to myself. I was ashamed of it. I was ashamed. No kid want to say, oh, I'm being picked on, you know. And right now, even statistics say that 64% of kids that are bullied are too afraid to tell their own parents. Right now today.
What do you feel, how do you feel that back then it wasn't even social media? Now social media plays a big platform in cyberbullying.
Yes.
And even though we have the initiatives that say cyberbullying shouldn't be done or it's a big cause in it, we should make the law stricter when it comes to cyberbullying. I recall overhearing a judge say that it's your First Amendment right to say something about pretty much about anything, because freedom of speech is your First Amendment right. So do you foresee your organization doing something to encourage the laws to become stricter when it comes to cyberbullying?
Most definitely. Right now, 321 has started the 321 surveillance camera phone monitor app. Actually, we started that last March. And what that is an app that will give parents the ability to monitor their child throughout the day by way of telephone, desktop, laptop, just to make sure they're safe. So we're pushing for that, the 321 Stop Bullying surveillance camera. We're just trying to bring the light on it, because right now so many people don't want to acknowledge that bullying even exists. Even in schools, we don't have a problem with bullying. Every school posts the same thing, but yet and still kids are committing suicide. Right now, an average of 12 kids a day commit suicide. Now we can talk, which is sad, about the Parkland, Florida shooting. 17 kids died. 2 weeks later, they was at the White House for justice. But no one talks about the 12 kids that commit suicide on a daily basis. 160,000 kids that skipping school. 7,000 kids a day that's quitting school. Not all related to bullying. Gang activity on the rise. Prison population.
Welcome back to the Spotlight. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Asir. I am your host. Feel free to call in and join this conversation, 404-751-5062. If you're watching us on WorldStarHitRadio.com, the number should be at the bottom of your screen. That is 404-751-5062. And also you can email us your questions, comments, or concerns, and we'll read them next week on our show at spotlightradioatl@gmail. We're going to get back into this conversation. Osborne Dennis is here with us, and he is the founder of 321 Stop Bullying. You can go to his website, 321stopbullying.com, and I'm going to read to you some important facts off of his website, and then we're going to get into warning signs and prevention. 4,400 children commit suicide each year because of bullying. 52% of kids are victims of cyberbullying. 160,000 kids skip school every day due to bullying. That's a poll done by ABC News. 64% of kids are afraid to report the situation to teachers, staff, or even their parents. 82% of the LGBT students are bullied, which is true, because of the fact that they're trying to transition and they're into a lifestyle that, culturally, in some cultures still has not been accepted.
Exactly.
Only 7% of parents are aware or concerned about their child being bullied, and that was also from a poll by ABC News. So parents aren't concerned about whether or not their child are bullying unless it's too late, you think?
I think a lot of parents feel like they done had that talk with their child, so their child is good. Every parent feel like their child is exempt from bullying.
Or they feel like my child is going to come and talk to me.
That's not the case. That's not the case. 12 kids a day committing suicide. Kids are dropping out of school at an alarming rate, so that's not the case. It's not the case. 7% is sad.
What about the parents that say, well, fight back, or if nothing happens, then go, fight back? Do you feel that's encouraging, or do you feel like they should do something alternatively?
I would say
thank you for calling the Spotlight. Hold one second. Hi.
Hi.
Who am I speaking with?
This is Araya. You look very beautiful today, Mrs. Sear. Shout out, Mr. Big.
Hi, thank you. We appreciate you, Miss Araya. Tell us where you're calling from, and do you have a question, comment, or concern?
Well, a little bit of all. question is, as a single mother, times are different. And, growing up when I was a child, my mom, she didn't play with you coming in talking about you were beat up. But now these children face being arrested for defending themselves. And my experience was my son, he's 12, he let a kid punch him in the face, and he didn't protect himself because a few weeks prior, he watched two kids in elementary school get into a fight, and the cops walked them out. He was terrified. He's terrified of this. He won't protect himself or defend himself. You don't want to teach your kids to be predators going out there bullying people, but you don't want them to be prey. As a parent, as a mother raising a young black man, how do I address that?
Well, I have a question also. You said that he's afraid to defend himself. Does he have a fear of the police because of everything that's going on?
Yeah, I think he has a fear of, because as a parent, you tell him, on top of everything going on, you tell him, don't you come in my house with have no cops bring you home, be careful of your kids, you don't go out there and get in trouble, you're going to jail. So I think it's kind of like compounded of just all of his experience on top of having to have experiences in Black Lives Matter, and I try to keep him informed on things going on. So yes, having that fear of being a young black male who, even defending himself, he can be the culprit.
Exactly. Mr. Dennis, would you like to respond?
Yes, I would suggest getting him in some self-defense classes, and just let him know that you're not a doormat.
Yes.
Exactly, you're not a doormat. Nor are you a punching bag. So it's okay to defend yourself.
However, if he fears the police, he fears defending himself because he feels like he's going to go to jail, or even now worse, some kids feel like I'm going to jail, or I may even get shot. So I think that, in my opinion, there are steps. The first thing he needs to do is inform a teacher that this is happening, some form of authoritative figure that this is happening, so it can be on record. That would be my personal suggestion. And then secondly, if once he gets home, he needs to tell his mama, because his mama can best handle it at that point. But then I understand too, from his point of view, how do you go back to school the next day and your mom has handled this situation?
Yes.
And the possibility of you being ridiculed or being called worse.
Snitch.
This is what we're dealing with. He is trained. He does martial arts, and he has been in martial arts since he was 7. So he knows that defending himself is not the problem. He's afraid to defend himself because of the consequences and the repercussions. He's afraid that if he defends himself, he's going to be walked out of the school in handcuffs.
So what happened? What happened in the situation? From you, how did you handle it?
Well, in this situation, of course, I had to go talk to the teachers, and the principal was able to call the child's parents, and we had a conference with the principal. And, it was addressed, and, as parents, we were able to take a proactive role. But these are kids, and, as parents, of course they're going to act one way around us and tell us everything we want to hear. But when these kids when they're not in our presence, and they have to defend, and they have to act and be on their own, mom can't be there every step of the way. Daddy can't come and jump for your defense every step of the way. I'm having a hard time of trying to figure out how to get him to know how to protect himself, because he's not a doormat. And I come from a generation, I wish I would have come in and somebody told my mom that I got punched in my face.
Yep.
I would have got another ass whooping, honestly. So it's like, when he tells me this story, I want to protect him. So I don't want to jump on him and make him feel like he did anything wrong, but it's very complicated because I can't say, you better go beat his ass. I can't tell him what my mother would have told me. You know what I mean?
Would you have been upset if he did beat his ass?
Absolutely not. He would have got a treat. But
You all like me too, though. That's the first question. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Bossy her up.
Biggs, you had something to say?
Listen, I feel like that we are now entering a police state. I feel like there is a system being implemented on us as a people. I feel like if we want to stop the police from harassing our children, touching our children, or dealing with them anyway, we need to start implementing some better system. Far as life insurance, first of all, life insurance. If we all got mass life insurance at the same time with our children, we wouldn't lose one. That's number one. I promise you that.
I'm gonna hold you right there. I'm so sorry. We're probably getting a little deeper than what she wants to get into right now when you talk about that. She just wants to know.
I don't mean police state, but as a child, as a young teenager in school, I was in one of the first schools that became a police school. So when I started off, police state is one situation, but I was in a police school where it was the beginning of where you had policemen in the school actually there planted. Are they there for the children? Or are they not there for the children? So if you there causing a problem as far as the children touching the police touching the children, what happened to internal affairs?
It wasn't even the problem.
To?
She didn't have the problem with the police touching the child. She has a problem with the fear of
but
the bullying aspect of it and getting arrested.
So that's them touching me. That's
the police should have been a figure of protection, and that I can run to you in the form of protecting. But now it is the fear that if I fight back, I'm going to leave elementary school in handcuffs. And that is the problem. Thank you, Araya, for calling in. I really appreciate your call. We just thank you for listening to the show. Continue to watch. We have a very exciting show next week. And we hope you'll be tuning in then. Thank you so much for calling in.
I will be tuning in, and I greatly appreciate the conscious conversations I enjoy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Araya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, that her question basically, how do you address that when parents come to you and your organization and they say my child has a fear of what to do basically, because that's what's happening. You're being bullied. You want to tell your teacher, but you don't want to be called a snitch or a punk. Then on top of that, you don't want to go home because you don't like you said, you're embarrassed, or you don't want to tell your parents. How would you tell someone that came to your organization, like, what advice would you give, especially since you've been in the situation?
I would say the parents will have to talk to the kids. That's a must. You will have to talk to the child. Forget about being called a snitch and a rat. Just keep a heartbeat. That's the main thing.
Parents, what is your advice to the parents as far as being proactive in talking to your kids about defining what bullying is? You know, back then you could say stuff and you could be called joning or the dozens or whatever, and you could talk about each other, and it may or may not have led to a fight. But nowadays, we're so even as adults socially conscious, we don't want to offend, and so our kids are like, I don't know if this is real, fake, are we playing, or is it going to end up in a fight? Like, it's just so much confusion for our children now.
It needs to be more quality time. The parent has to spend quality time with the child, because right now, like you say, it's only 7%. It's a lack of quality time. You just think about it. How many households actually one day a week sit down and have dinner together?
Without the cell phones at
without
the table.
all the
7
electronic
TVs in the house as well.
I mean, the lack of families. It isn't like the old days. You know, when you was getting bullied back in the old days, you could come home and talk to your mom or your dad, your brothers, your aunties, your uncles. Everybody had your back, even your neighborhood. But right now, when you go home, the mom may say, the dad may, if the dad is there, may say, how was your day? And let that be that.
That's
the kids don't have no one to talk to. They don't have anyone to talk to.
That's true.
The relationship is terrible. I mean, because there's no quality time. Everyone is, I guess, so busy chasing after almighty dollar or something like that, or living in the trinity of me, myself, and I, to where kids are consumed with so much pain and trouble. They don't have anyone to talk to. We need more quality time. Go fishing, take a walk in the park, play board games, cut off the computers, please. Cut them off. Sometimes just sit down and just have a good meal together and see. Do you have? How's life been treating you? When is the last time?
I see a lot of the young kids now, the toddlers, when they're walking around the store in the basket, they're given a cell phone or a tablet to pacify them, and that's their form of education or parenting now is, I'm just going to have my child in front of this tablet 24/7 so that they don't have to bother me.
Exactly.
And so when stuff like this happens, now we want to go to the media and say, my child was being bullied. Well, what steps did you take to be proactive to not have it get to that point?
Exactly.
You have an event coming up on...
No, that's the old one. July the 14th.
The 14th, not the 15th.
Yeah, that's the old one. July the 14th. In Conyers, we will be doing our second annual anti-bullying march. The theme of the march is the power of unity. We're going to finish out at the AMF bowling alley. We're going to be giving away school supplies, voter registration, free bowling, free food, face painting, live entertainment, empowerment speakers, just bringing the community together.
And that's a good thing. So go out. It's going to be at 1265 Irish Drives in Conyers, Georgia. You can log on to 321stopbullying.com to get more information. And he's not just the founder of this nonprofit organization. You have a nail salon too.
Yes, me and my friend actually has it.
My friend.
Close friend. My lady friend.
Close friend, lady friend.
Acquaintance is best.
Yvonne Swinger, Terrain Nails.
My girlfriend. Let's call it.
Hey, I need my thing.
Okay.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, you gotta give them the
Okay.
information.
Terrain Nails and Boutique, 646 Mount Zion Road in Jonesboro, Georgia.
Hours of operation is in the afternoons right now.
Yes.
From 6.
From 5 to 8.
From 5 to 8.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go yesterday. I will be there this weekend because I need a mani-pedi really bad. And I do believe in supporting black businesses. And don't let what you hear about black businesses stop you from at least going to try and support. If we start keeping funds circulating, not just in other communities, but also in our own communities, it is sure to make a difference. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I applaud anyone that is emerging beyond, hence my media company, that is emerging beyond something that they've been through. I really applaud it. And to be able to come back out of something that you have experienced and make a difference, it means a lot. So we salute you right here on the spotlight, and we thank you for coming on with your Andre 3000 looking self. Luke, you gotta hold the shoes up for the camera just one time. You got to hold the shoes up for the camera.
Let's see the shoe, baby. Let's see it. Oh!
Can y'all see that? Can you see the shoes?
Hey, I splurged a little bit today at the Goodwill.
He said he splurged a little
at the
bit
Goodwill.
today.
And it fit like a champ, too. It looked like it meant to be on there.
Most definitely.
Excellent.
Well. Before we end this show, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Spotlight Radio ATL on IG. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, Spotlight Radio ATL, and make sure you check out our previous interviews. And we're just going to be doing a whole lot more in the community. Biggs, do you have anything you'd like to say before you close us out with the mix?
Thank you very much for coming out.
My pleasure.
It's really been tough. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Thank you very much. I love the cape as well.
Any
Can I get
shout-outs?
me one or one a black one?
Most definitely.
That's
Any
what-
shout outs?
I'd like to shout out to Conyers and Covington, GA, for all the stand-up players. I'd like to stand up to all the barbers I know in Conyers, all the barbershops, all the businesses in Conyers. Everybody who's doing business, I'd like to say what's up to you. I'd like to shout out to Osborne Dennis, but thank you very much for looking out for me. Appreciate you. You're the man. Everybody, love you. Lab Barbershop. Thank you.
Okay, so with that being said, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to World Star Hit Radio. Next Thursday, you want to join us because we have a very, very special guest coming into the studio. Mr. Mason Pryor will be here. He will be performing on Sunday here in Atlanta, but he will be on the spotlight. He is the son of the iconic and legendary Richard Pryor, and we are excited to have him here. Make sure you continue to follow us on social media platforms, Spotlight Radio ATL, for our updates and our promos leading up to this very, very special event interview. And you do not want to miss this one. You really don't want to miss this interview with Mason Pryor. We'll see you soon. Spotlight Radio ATL. Once again, follow me on social media, real__ Asir. Love you guys and thank you for tuning in to World Star Hit Radio.